So now that the Lapras event has unfortunately ended, everybody has all of the promo pack cards that they're ever going to get, or at least this particular promo pack. Just as a reminder, here is the promo pack and all of the odds of each of the cards. How did you do? Did you get everything you wanted? Let me know. I'm really curious because I have no idea what the average person's experience with the event has been, and I'm just kind of curious to collect that information. So yeah, let me know. Myself, I got almost everything I wanted, but I did come up short. I don't remember the number of copies I got. Actually, you know what? I can pull it up. You know, magic of editing and everything. Okay, here we go. I got 6 Butterfree, 4 Lapras. I actually thought I got way more than that. 12 Pikachu, 6 Mankey, but unfortunately, I only got 1 Clefairy. And Clefairy actually has the highest, or one of the highest odds to be pulled. So I was very disappointed when I didn't get my second Clefairy. But I want to reflect for a moment because this was our first time that we ever got brand new cards in Pokemon Pocket. I want to reflect on which of the 2 brand new cards was better. Was it Lapras or was it Mankey? Because I know there's a lot of people out there who were disappointed that they didn't pull their Lapras, or maybe a few people out there are disappointed they didn't pull their Mankey, and I want to get a chance to talk about the pros and cons of each and where they ended up falling in the game now that we've had a couple weeks with those cards. First of all, I want to go over my expectations of these 2 cards before we got our hands on them. I thought Mankey would make Primeape like a meta card, not like a crazy, you know, not Pikachu EX level or Mewtwo EX level, just like a mainstay in the meta. And we'll talk about it a bit more here in a minute, but I was way off with that. And with Lapras, I was also pretty far off the mark. I thought that Lapras was going to be very similar in power level to Articuno, still worse than Articuno, but like pretty close. Now let's dive into the reality of the situation. Lapras has been significantly worse than my expectations. I thought she might fall into a similar place that Articuno has, but her high retreat cost has simply proved to be too damning. She has so much going for her. Her high health, her okay damage per energy with a built-in heal are all really good starting points for a Pokemon in Pokemon Pocket. But that retreat cost is just so much to get over. It just puts to shame all of the good things that Lapras is doing. Seriously, most of what's written on Lapras's card is good. It's just that retreat cost really brings it down to okay, or maybe even just bad. I will say one thing that's kind of cool about Lapras is she serves as like a budget option for Articuno. Like maybe you want to play the Starmie Articuno deck, but you just don't have 2 copies of Articuno. Well, you can just slot in a Lapras. So there's that, but if you're collection complete, it's just better to run the Articuno. But if you're not collection complete, slotting in Lapras in any deck that you would have alternatively put in Articuno is gonna work pretty okay. It is just worse than Articuno, but she'll do the job, right? She fills the same role. So if you're looking for budget options, Lapras is a really nice addition to the game, assuming you manage to pull her during the event. But overall, I would say Lapras is a bad card. Unfortunately, I have a similar story to tell with Mankey. Mankey also performed below my expectations. Primeape's HP is just simply too low. You're investing 2 cards and 2 energy into a Pokemon that requires having already attacked with its basic form just to be able to attack for 100 damage. And the end result is a Pokemon with 80 HP that gets to attack for 100. All of the best Pokemon in the game can one-shot that, and good Pokemon that can't one-shot it can survive a 100 damage hit that the Primeape does, and then revenge 2-shot them without much of a tempo loss at all. Comparing Marowak to Primeape for just a second, it's pretty embarrassing for Primeape. Marowak does not require that Cubone have attacked before Primeape comes into play, so even with the new Mankey, it's more setup to get Primeape going. Marowak's expected damage value is 80, and Marowak has 140 HP, effectively 50 more than Primeape. Obviously gives up 2 prize points, but I don't think the trade-off is worth it. In conclusion, I think that Mankey and Primeape fill a similar role in that they're 2-cost high-damage attackers, but Marowak is just better in that role. Maybe you really hate flipping coins and Primeape is the better option for you, but there's honestly probably more randomness in hitting a Primeape on curve with having attacked with Mankey. There's probably more randomness in that and just attacking with a Marowak. Obviously, you don't see that randomness in the same way that you see the Marowak coin flip, but I still think it's better. I will say though that the promo Mankey is by far and away infinitely better than the first Mankey we had in game. Promo Mankey is better than Lapras' offering. It's more likely that you're going to see Primeape see play than Lapras see play, and as a result of that, I would say that Mankey's the better of the 2 cards. I still think that Mankey's bad though. But yes, collectively, neither of these 2 cards made much of a splash at all, I think. Don't get me wrong, they are fun to play with and it was really fun to experiment with them. But as far as like competitive deck viability is concerned, I don't think that Lapras or Mankey are going to end up making much of a splash, and they haven't so far. Primeape was seeing a little bit of play there for a while, and Lapras performed well in a tournament that banned like Articuno and a handful of other competitive cards. But yes, now that we've had a while with both of these cards, I think it's fair to say that neither of them ended up making too competitive of a splash, and of the two, Mankey was the better. How do you feel about both Mankey and Lapras? Where do they fall for you? Have you been playing much of them? Did you drop them pretty quickly? Outside of how good they are, how much fun have you had with either of the two cards? I think I've had a ton of fun with Lapras, so yeah, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, keep being awesome, and I'll catch you in the next one.